Oh, yeah. How are you, folks? It's Tuesday. How's it going? See you people this week in Newtown, Pennsylvania at the Newtown Theater on Saturday night. And then next week, and I'll see you at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. So go to nickdip.com for that information. I'm not going through all the dates again. I'm tired of doing it, goddammit. I'm getting serious buzzing. I don't know what it is. I know they can't hear it, you can't hear it, but I'd like you to fix it, Jason, when the show's over. Or call Jay or something. It's really fucking irritating me. I like my headphones loud. And this box we've had for, what, 3 minutes? Where they making this shit? North Korea? Anyhow, we'll get to the news in a second. AOC versus Mitch McConnell. The left still busting Trump's balls about the shooting. It's all his fault. And I'm so fucking tired of you people on the left. I hope you all get cancer of the eyes, forehead, and tits. All right? I couldn't make it any clearer. Come here, Jace. Come here. I want you to listen to this. You people just hold on a second, will you? I mean, come on. Why?
Hi, how are you?
Well, what is that?
Well, because you have them turned up so loud.
Huh? No, it isn't, Jason, because I've had them turned up loud for months, and now it just started doing that. So fuck that answer. Rich, you're the tech guy. Pipe in here.
I think your box is...
Oh, pussy joke. Sit down, dinkweed. I think your box. Jesus Christ, you're like batting practice. It is. You think it's the box? This thing personally?
100%.
Huh? 100%? That's great. What do we pay for that? They last 3 minutes. Goddamn Koreans. I have no idea who built it. Could be greasy guineas. Listen, real quick, I want to get this out of the way because it's been a somber week in news. I like to get to some of them. But this guy, David Kimowitz, okay, he was an owner of the Stand Comedy Club, a co-owner in New York City, which is a place I played all the time. When I ran my, my welcome out of the Comedy Cellar, they didn't throw me out. I just said I needed a break. I keep playing the same room. You get too comfortable. So I went over to this new place called The Stand a few years ago. And it was great. Tiny room, delicious food. And the guys couldn't have been nicer. Chris and David, his partner. Anyways, David was murdered by his nanny's boyfriend this past weekend. 40 years old. And you know, all these, there he is. Great guy. You know, every time somebody dies, they say what a nice person. It was the truth, though. This guy was as sweet as they come. Big comedy fan. If you know Big Jay Okerson, it's his manager and a few other people. And it's just horrible. Stabbed to death at his home in Maplewood in northern New Jersey, along with his family's nanny, Karen L. Bermudez Rodriguez. She was 26. The nanny's boyfriend, Joseph Porter, 27, of Elizabeth, New Jersey, has been arrested in relation to the crime. Police were called to Kimwood's home in Maplewood in North Jersey around 6 a.m. on the morning of August 3rd. The Post reports that police were called to the home after a woman who was jogging by saw the injured woman, and that was the nanny on the front lawn. She got away, and this jerk-off chased her down and stabbed her for whatever reason. A neighbor told the NorthJersey.com that she had spoken with Kimwood's brother on the day of the attack, and he confirmed that the comedy club owner and his family nanny had been killed. Here's the thing. Bermudez Rodriguez had managed to escape from her attacker. Anyways, neighbors said that Porter was a fixture in the neighborhood. He could regularly be seen sitting in his sedan car in there, which is a bad sign. Anytime somebody's hanging out in their car, not funny, Rich. The fuck you laughing at? A couple of people are saying they saw him pacing up and down the street the day before. He was doing the same thing last week. Well, did anybody, call the cops or whatnot? A couple of nannies were having a party the night before it happened, and he was lurking in the woods off to the right. Anyways, a horrible loss, and I mean it. These guys, they just opened a new club, a bigger stand, and the guy couldn't have been nicer. I've met him plenty of times at the club, and really loved comics and stuff. And who knows what the story is? Speculation. Psycho boyfriend maybe thought, something was going on. Who knows? But it never justifies this. And I just wanted to give him a shout because it really is a great loss to the comedy community, especially in New York City. All right, let's move on. Red Sox finally win. I know I'm not hitting the trending stories yet. Relax. Anybody who's breathing down my fucking neck. I'm so tired of this world. The Sox finally, after dropping 8, they're in the most crucial part of the season. They beat Kansas City last night. Why am I bringing that up? Because Fenway Park has this thing. Every time the Sox win, kids can eat. Oh, kids eat free when Red Sox win. Now, because of this not making any moves at the deadline, this resulted in some, look, these poor Sox kids fans lining up for Fenway Franks. They're like, can somebody make a move at the deadline? I'm starving, for the love of Christ. That looks like Brock Holt's kid in the back. All right, get it out of there. How horrible. I actually hesitated about putting that up there, you know, and then my wife said, for Christ's sake, those kids have been dead 100 years. Don't be a pussy. Oh, with advice like that, you can see why I'm fighting for my life, comedy-wise. Anyways, so they break out of this slump, and good, those kids can have a nice steamed Fenway Frank, which has rat shit in it, and pecker lips, and tiger claws, and pigeon feces. Anyways, what? Rich, go ahead.
Laughing at the Red Sox kids.
Huh?
It's funny.
Don't look at me like you have something to say and then just say something. This is what Tommy's talking about. You just suck the fucking life out of the joke. I can see you laughing. I don't need you to tell me that verbally. I saw your hand on the button. I thought you had something to add. Rich just got a new job. He's working at the car wash up the street with 3 young Hispanic kids. Anyways, somebody tell me if this is real or not. Michael Baker, my former guy, Mike Baker, who I love, my former, tech guy. Anyways, he sent me this clip on. Even if it's staged, it made me fucking belly laugh. And I watched it a couple times. I'd say about 78, like a Zapruder film. I'm like, is that black guy on the grass? Is any? Even if it's staged, these are good actors, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't. You guys tell me, but God damn it, the world is funny if it isn't staged.
Junior, come get this motherfucking corn. I can't get it. I'm gonna put it up there. Junior, I said come get this corn. I can't get it. It's too far up there.
My bad, Daddy. Daddy, my fault.
You motherfucker.
Daddy, I tripped. My fault, Daddy.
You a goddamn lie. Ain't no fucking way. How the fuck you don't see me right there? You didn't see me?
You see me trying right here,
Then
Daddy.
look at this shit all in my motherfucking beard. Goddamn it, you was one goofy motherfucker. You a goofy mother. Look at this shit. Talk about you ain't fucking see me.
He just slapped
up in the goddamn corner. Now I gotta straight this fucking paint out of my motherfucking face. You fucking.
Is that it? You know why it's so guys outraged? He's got whiteface on. That is the ultimate insult to an older black gentleman. He's in whiteface. Maybe we should protest his company. I find that offensive. That's appropriation. God damn it. Probably stay. I don't know, but I don't care. If it is staged, it's even funnier that this guy goes, hey, we'll put you in whiteface. He cracks him across the face. That's why I'm thinking it is staged, because if that was my old man, when he slapped me, you would hear it for 1.5 miles. I'm deaf in one of my ears because of Ted Nugent, and I'm deaf in my other ear because my old man's right hand at the table. When my mother said, do you want salad? I said, what kind of lettuce? And my old man cracked me one. What the fuck? We had a choice. Iceberg and romaine. Apparently my father thinks, back, this was in the 70s. He's acting like it's the Depression, war years. How dare you? It was such a weak argument on his part, he couldn't even say, this kid's starving all over the world that could use lettuce. No, they grow it everywhere. Shut the fuck up. There's no shortage of lettuce anyway. Lettuce, not letters. I'm speaking like Bernie Sanders. Oh, IKEA. God damn it, I wrote the bill. I'm a smart Joe, don't fuck with me. Is he full of rage? He must have been Those lefties, the further left, the more angry they are. They're just fucking. I appreciate it coming out of him because he actually believes the horse shit. And it is horse shit, believe me. They named the new ice cream after him, Ben and Jerry. We'll get to that, too. Big news. Come get this corner was the name of the clip. AOC rips McConnell. Let me put on my fucking glasses. I'm going to punch somebody in the face right now, mainly me. Did I mention we're coming to you live, Patreon members? And God bless you.
We'll do it live.
Tell your friends about this show, goddammit. I need the cash.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, we always do. AOC rips McConnell over pic of young men in Team Mitch shirts, groping and choking cutout of her. There it is. What are you fucking complaining about? They're the only fucking 6 white guys that find you attractive in the country. I think you're kind of cute, but I'm 71 years old. You have the teeth of Mr. Ed and John Elway. It bums me out. And you're dumber than most bartenders. That's what I'm saying. But look at this. Look at these kids. I like the choking motion. Apparently young women like to be choked during sex, and I've said it before. I remember the old days when, if you were wondering if a woman was involved, you look for the ring around her finger. I've choked many a girl, but not during sex. It was during breakfast the next morning. I'm like, you call these sunny side up? Get the fuck out of here! But of course, she got all upset because she's a dummy.
Me. This is rape.
You wish.
This is rape. This is rape.
Hey, she tweeted out at Senator Majority Leader, these young men look like they work for you. What kind of racial crack is that? What do you mean by that? Oh, those white frat boys that gang rape? That's what all's implied in there. She'll get a pass from Joe Scarborough. By the way, he should be shot in front of his kids on the front lawn someday. What a fucking piece of garbage. I don't know how I forgot him. Just want to clarify, are you paying for young men to practice groping and choking members of Congress with your payroll, or is it just the standard culture of team? That's an attack at fucking like young white guy. That's all that is. We see right through you. Make me a dirty martini, okay? Fetch me some olives. She's just as shallow as they fucking come. I can't take it anymore. I can't.
Make me a sandwich. Make me a fucking sandwich.
Break me off a piece of that, the caption wrote. I'm guessing Mitch McConnell wrote that. Hey, boys, you put under that? Break me off a piece of that. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You know what I'm talking about? Mitch McConnell, when he talks, he only moves his lower lip. Today there was a picture out there of some white boys choking this young Hispanic bitch, and I just want to separate myself from it. I'm from Kentucky, and I'm like, oh, yeah, what the hell? Anyhow, the photo emerged Monday, just one day after Ocasio-Cortez publicly condemned McConnell in the wake of the El Paso dating shootings for not calling a Senate vote on a gun reform bill that was passed by the Democratic-controlled House back in February. Jesus Christ, look at Mitch McConnell. He's got 2 mouths, and a third one is growing in below the second one. I was eating buffalo wings last night, and I stuck a couple in here. He always looks like he just watched somebody beheaded. Look at his eyes popping out of his skull. I can't believe this dumb fucking bartender bitch heard this about me, baby. The House passed H.R. 8, a bipartisan background check, months ago. The Senate has yet to vote on it. You know why? Because we're not for gun control in this country. How are you going to protect yourself from those white boys, AOC, that want to choke and touch you? Ocasio-Cortez was responding to a tweet from McConnell in which he offered his condolences to the victims of the El Paso shooting. And, of course, AOC, like a good Democrat, thought she would capitalize on it politically. Fucking douche. The entire nation is horrified by today's senseless violence, said the majority leader. Elaine and my prayers go out to the victims of this terrible violence, their families and friends, and the brave first responders who found my lower jaw in the backyard behind a pumpkin. One awful event after, of course, Schumer had to weigh in because we haven't heard from him in 3 seconds. One awful event after another, said Schumer in a statement. Leader McConnell must call the Senate back for an emergency session to put the House past universal background check legislation. See how they turn it? So now it's on him because they're leaving for whatever their break. So let's make it look like he doesn't give a shit. Oh, Schumer, you're as transparent as the douche you're defending. For an emergency session, put the House of Universal Background Check legislation on the Senate floor for debate and vote immediately. That's the great Chuck Schumer.
Get this through your head, Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you!
Hey, Mitch, there's no way to talk. We know you're from Kentucky and an anti-Semite. But anyways, AOC, just be happy anybody's paying attention to you of the male gender. And it's not because you're not cute or whatever, but when you open your mouth, you might as well be the elephant woman. Is there anything? You know? She's like those, like those supermodels. They're at 14 on it. Not that she is that hot. I'm just saying. Those supermodels, they're 14 on a scale of 10. And then they open their mouths to, like, talk about climate change. And they might as well fucking have a beard, 3 chins, and fucking red pigtails, and a hair lip, and no legs. And I know Rich still would try to fucking. Rich is like Joe Pesci in The Raging Bull. Yeah, you know me, I'll fuck everything. Yes, Rich, want to weigh in there, fella?
I was just going to report, Mitch fell in his kitchen, broke
Yeah,
his shoulder.
he hurt his shoulder,
Yeah,
right?
So that's like elder abuse, what she's doing to him.
She's piling on. Yep. She's piling on. We all admit to McConnell. I fell down. Luckily, I didn't break my lower lip. You'd never hear from me again. Broke his fuck. I know. Where's that footage? I was hoping it was his next door neighbor. Hey, Rand Paul has to. Do you see how serious that was? The guy had to undergo surgery. His lung. To fucking take out half his lung. Who was he living next door to? J.J. Watt? Jesus Christ, 6 broken ribs. Some of them were displaced. What a shot that guy gave him, huh? And he's suing the motherfucker. And the guy's getting fined and he did jail time. And he should. The violent people. But I couldn't believe it. Anybody get footage of that? I'd pay for that. Anyhow, what is next on the Galveston officers on horseback? Oh, we haven't talked about race in almost 11 seconds. Galveston, I'm guessing Texas. Anytime you hear Galveston, you're not talking Ohio or fucking Pennsylvania. By the way, I'm hooked on both cigarettes and the Juul now. So I'm guaranteeing myself cancer. Still like this better. I'm going for it. I know they know nothing about the Juul. And I've been saying on this show, I said in 10 years I'll be laying on the couch and a woman, a lawyer will come on. Have you or a loved one smoked the Juul between... Guess what? Saw the commercial the other night. Made me sit up. I was half asleep. I turned it up. I go, you gotta be dog styling me. Have you or your child used the... I couldn't fucking believe it. How can you be suing if you don't know anything about it yet? Fucking lawyers, just let me enjoy my cancer. I get it coming from cigarettes, the Juul. I could just start cigars and crack pipes next. Anyways, Galveston, Texas, what's going on there? Oh, my God, I'll tell you the outrage. Galveston officers on horseback seen leading handcuffed man with a rope. Maybe those horses were emotional support animals. You ever walk the beat in a black neighborhood? You might need some emotional support. Even though, I don't know what Galveston, I don't know the racial breakdown. But Galveston police are responding to an uproar. Guess where the uproar is? It's about a photo on Facebook, social media. Is anything not an uproar on there? A fucking caterpillar farts in Italy, and it's an uproar. Do you guys have anything else to do with your fucking lives? Are you on your phones at work, too? I'm not blaming you. I mean... I keep seeing commercials how dangerous to text behind them. Oh, text? I'm cutting and pasting when I'm behind the wheel. 70 miles an hour. I'm fucking making collages and... Anyways, yeah. Responding to a photo, pasted on a photo, showing a man, that would be a black man. They don't even have the balls to say black when it's in their favor to say black. Being led by officers on horses using rope. Oh, I bet you they were going to hang him in front of a white crowd in downtown Galveston. Is that what you're... That's seriously, that's behind the uproar. You people, please get lives. Please. Here's the fucking story from the local news that people are...
You don't do you don't even do a dog that way.
The reaction was
And
strong
who knows better
both
about
on
dogs?
social media and when we showed people the photo.
I didn't agree with that.
Pause. Really? A black woman wouldn't agree with a black kid in cuffs walking next to cops on a horse? You know what I don't agree with, miss, and I don't know who you are, probably a nice lady, your fingernails. Talk about offensive. Arrest her now. Looks like she's been picking a pumpkin's nose. That's who they go to. How do you feel about this? Why don't you dig up fucking Medgar Evers and ask him how he feels? I think that's a woman. Or is that Pac-Man Jones? Anyways, back to the footage.
I feel that that's wrong.
Chief of Galveston
wrong.
Police responding to the criticism, saying the officer showed poor judgment. According to police, after several warnings, 43-year-old Donald Neely was arrested Saturday for criminal trespassing at 306 22nd Street near
Pause.
the Strand.
Remember that when that would be part of the story? That would be the actual story? Let's gloss over that part on Facebook. Don't get an uproar. He was warned 100 times. And again, we have to gloss over that part to get to the good part. The optics are bad here for the cops. Go ahead.
That was it.
Really? I thought it was a 10-minute clip. We showed him walking for miles. No? Anyways, you don't even do a dog like that, the lady says. Oh, please get a life.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Anyways, police said the officers led him around the corner of 21st and Market where the mounted patrol unit was staging when the photo was taken. Some commented online it appeared the rope was tied to the suspect's hand. The police department says the suspect was handcuffed and the rope was clipped to the handcuffs. Chief Vernon Hale III. Oh, God. God, Lovey, we had the handcuffs and the rope just clipped to the young colored kid. We didn't. Galveston Police Department released a statement apologizing to Neely. The thing was, well, here's the apology from fucking another white guy who's just worn down. First and foremost, I must apologize to Mr. Neely for this unnecessary embarrassment. Although this is a trained technique and best practice in some scenarios. Okay, contradicting yourself. I believe our officers showed poor judgment in this instance and could have waited for a transport unit at the location of the arrest. There was no transport unit, meaning another cop car. So they were just doing what they thought was right. But again, the optics are horrible in the world we live in, I guess. But we have to focus on that part of the story and not the reason why the cops were doing what they're doing. And I'm sure they didn't know they were going to, be filmed. I believe Raj poor job could have waited for transport unit at the location. My officers did not have any malicious intent at the time of the arrest, but so why are you throwing them under the bus? But we have immediately changed the policy to prevent the use of this technique. And we're going to have camels or sheep, something that doesn't hark back to the days of hangings and lynching. And we'll review all mounted training and procedures for more appropriate methods. The department identified the officers as P. Broche and A. Smith. They were wearing body cameras, which were activated. Neely's sister was upset when she saw the photo. She tells ABC 13 he is mentally ill and homeless. Maybe that's part of the story you should be focusing on. Huh? Police say the officers do not face discipline. So what you're saying is they did nothing wrong. The only thing wrong here, there was a picture taken, a footage of it. Yet you're apologizing, because of the optics of a black guy with a rope tied to his hands or clipped to the cuffs on horseback. Go ahead, Rich. You look like you want to say something.
Well, I just thought, why don't they put him on a skateboard, like the cops on skateboards, and then the guy can walk them? It looks a lot better and a lot more friendly.
Jason, weigh in on that comment.
My IQ just dropped a little bit, so I can't.
Skateboards don't work in Galveston on dirt roads. Come on.
Fair point.
Fair point. But it did remind me of Blazing Saddles, if you remember this great movie.
Look what I got here. Hey, where are the white women at?
That's Galveston. That's actually footage from Galveston from a couple months ago. Go ahead. That's how they're going to do it from now on.
Isn't anybody going to help that poor man?
Gosh, Harriet, that's a sure way to get him killed. Oh, help me, help me.
All right, I didn't give you that much, Jason. You edited on your own. I did not want that much. Am I right, Jason?
I don't know. I just like that part.
Yeah, well, this is my show, fuckface, okay? When I give you markings, you follow them, all right? Thank you. Help me. That's what they're going to do from now on, though. Instead of using horses and shit, the cops are going to hand the gun to the suspect who's ignored their demands for the last 10 minutes and let him take himself in. And then all you white people on Twitter, you liberals can applaud and go, they should self-govern and be all happy and shit. It was a nothing burger, as Ted Cruz would say. But I thought I'd touch on it because, again, political correctness. And let's get to political correctness at the we're at the height of it at this point. Well, not really. It's probably going to get worse. But Trump obviously came out yesterday and had to speak about the shootings. And here's what he had to say.
The shooter in El Paso posted a manifesto online consumed by racist hate. In one voice, our nation must condemn racism.
Somebody said this, some writer, and it made me laugh. Why does he fucking talk to us like he's reading an eye chart? I said it years ago. I said, we can handle more than 5 words at a time, Mr. President. Some racist, bigotry, and other things. The E's going that way, the W's going. Go ahead.
Bigotry and white supremacy.
Oh, my God, he said it. How dare you? I can hear the libs watching this. How dare you when you're at the center of all this? It all started. White supremacy didn't exist till 2016. There was no such thing as a Klan. Go ahead.
That was it.
Jason, it was not.
Yes, it was.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was 3:21 to 3:40.
9 seconds? You're probably right. It's hard to do this in the morning. Still going to bed at 1:30. It's fucking horrible. Anyways, this is from NBC, and this is what I want you to, give you a little lesson on NBC and how they report. The suspect identified by police as a 21-year-old white man from the Dallas area. Love, again, how cavalier they are when it's a white guy. You can look at crimes. You can read the police blotter in the New York Post or any paper in this country, and you know it's a black suspect, but you have to do the math on your own. But when it's a white guy, NBC can't wait to announce that. Posted a diatribe against immigrants in Texas, a senior law enforcement official told NBC Lion Cocksucker News. He also pushed talking points about preserving European identity in America. They had to get that in there, so he's white. But the president did not specifically condemn anti-immigrant rhetoric on Monday. You know why? He's never been anti-immigrant. He's been anti-illegal immigrant, you two-faced fucks, and you know so. And you people soak it in. He's anti-immigrant. Keep saying it. Keep fucking lying. Oh, my God. Instead, blaming violent video games and mental illness. Yeah, there's no evidence of, the military uses video games to train shooters. So a little bit of that is true. I'm not blaming all of it. Because, again, I watched The Three Stooges as a kid. As a kid, I started at 6. I stopped at 44, I think. 38 years of The Stooges, and I've yet to take a claw hammer to my brother's forehead. So I don't know how much of an influence that had. And mental illness is the scourge of mass shootings. Look, and they say that have been a steady drumbeat throughout his presidency. How many mass shootings under Obama? Now I'm counting what you guys count as mass shootings. 55 black people shot this weekend in Chicago alone, 7 dead. And again, 4 or more in one incident would be a mass shooting. But it all started, it's been a steady drumbeat. Rich, do you want to say something? Because you're staring at me.
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
The internet makes everybody compete for likes and popularity.
Yeah.
So, these kids sit at home, they do play video games, they fantasize about being celebrities, and that's why they do these horrible things. But that's my point.
Yeah, we're not doing Meet the Fucking Press, okay? I'd rather have you say something very unfunny than try to make a poignant fucking point. That probably was a joke. Ugh. Trump also gave his support in his remarks to the so-called red flag laws. You know what this is? That would allow family members to obtain a court order to take away a relative's firearms if they believe he or she posed a risk, which means women are going to have to give up their firearms fucking 1 week of the month. Every fucking month. That's not fair. That's sexist. The measure has been backed by Republicans, and while Democrats have focused on improving background checks, the media has a big responsibility. Here's where Trump nailed it. And this is the problem, and this is why he's my favorite president. Because I've had a hate on for the media since I was 14. But he hits it on the head. The media has a big responsibility to life and safety in our country. Fake news has contributed greatly to the anger and rage that has built up over many years. I've been saying this on the show, this has gone on for 30, 40 years. You're watching it take root. They told the lie enough times and loud enough, it became the truth when it comes to race. He says news coverage has got to start being fair, balanced, and unbiased, or these terrible problems will only get worse, he wrote. And he's absolutely right. I can't believe we haven't had a race war. For the last 30, 40 years, the mainstream media cherry picks racial stories where Whitey's the bad guy. They put all the statistics out that have you think this country, you'd think Klan members, there are 400,000 of them. And white supremacy rules. You can't argue with me on that. If I can, NBC, keep pushing it. And that's what got us to this point. And eventually there's going to be a tipping point. How do you explain the story I just did about the black guy walking next to the cop on the horse? That being controversial. Even, 10 years ago, nobody would blink at it. It's getting worse by the day. Anyhow, that's what he had to say. And then there was fallout on this because, Kellyanne Conway, a senior spokesman for Trump, has to go out and defend this stuff. And she did against CNN's stupid Kellyanne Amanpour. When is she going to go away? But they went at it in what I like to call a real catfight, as we say. That's Kellyanne Conway in the blonde with the red. So Amanpour took on Kellyanne Conway over Trump's rhetoric, possibly inspiring mass shootings. So keep that lie alive. Here they are going at it.
The experts say that there are climates of hate that are created, and usually from the top. So I'm asking you,
pause.
Will you?
Who are the experts? Brian Stetzer and the other douchebags at CNN? Zucker? Who are the experts? Christiane? And do you know I know Kellyanne Conway? I used to do a show called The Strategy Room, a streaming live show in the Fox News building. And she sat next to me for like 2 or 3 shows. Her name was Fitzgerald back then or whatever. And I used to think, where's this woman going? She's got a few good points, but she's not going anywhere. No, she's the most powerful broad in the world. Go ahead.
And the president's advisors seek to restrict his Twitter use and his other use of these words.
Pause.
Of these words.
Shut the restrict his Twitter use. Yeah, we'll take away the only tool that allows him to speak honestly to us people who voted at him and go around douchebags like you and your shitty network. He can't use this tool anymore and get rid of these words. This isn't the UK. We're not there yet, okay? She's literally advocating for banning words, and fucking ignorant as the day is long. Go ahead.
What he said about Elijah Cummings, what he said about Baltimore, what he says about migrants.
Pause. All true. Elijah Cummings, actually, we found the clip of him saying that his city was infested with drug dealers. So what's your point? It's the language that's doing it. Start judging people by their actions and not their words, you wrinkled pig. Go ahead.
Yes or no, it's simple, because if it's no, it stays there at the top.
No, I'm not telling you what I discussed with the president.
No, I'm asking you, do you agree with that? Do you agree with it? Infestation, invasions. These are important words.
Keep repeating
Look
it.
back in history,
you keep
Kellyanne.
repeating it because a day ago, your network insisted that this president would not come out and denounce racism, white supremacy, bigotry, call this evil, call him a monster, try to fix our mental
Okay, so the simple question and follow-up is, will he then not say those things on the air, on Twitter, on social media again? I mean, you're telling me what he says.
I'm not going to allow you to conflate him with the murderers here.
Exactly.
Oh, come on.
And-
you know I didn't do
think-
that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking about his
I
words.
heard a lot of words. Well, I heard a lot of words on your network and others the last couple of days.
Kellyanne, it's you and me talking now, not about networks. I'm asking you.
Pause. You
Very
see how she's getting bent out of shape? Christiane Amanpour, because Kellyanne Conway's not shutting her mouth and going, yes, he'll stop doing it. We know it upsets your viewers, all 6 of them at CNN. He won't use Twitter anymore, and he won't use words. We're going to get rid of the words infestation and invasion because that's what you want. Oh, God help us. Go ahead.
simply, well, this is what the world says.
You have to own it. You have to own it.
Yeah.
The world says
Say it
the
again.
Sydney Morning Herald had a striking headline yesterday, according to the CJR. U.S. in the
I'm
midst.
going to repeat myself.
U.S.
I'm happy
in the
that
midst
the president
of
has denounced white supremacy, domestic terrorism. This person should face the death penalty. He is evil.
Right.
All right. Meanwhile, Christian Amanpour is wearing Elton John's glasses. Literally advocating censorship of the English language and trying to connect these horrible shootings. CNN, you're a fucking disgrace, but we've known that forever. How you're still on the air, again, is because of Delta Airlines. So they're tying Trump's words to the shootings, right? All the anti-immigrant rhetoric and whatnot. Well, again, it's ridiculous to blame anybody, just like it's ridiculous to blame Bernie Sanders for the Scalise shooting. But if you want to play that game, a bunch of cops get killed under Obama because he started the tension in this country. If you want to finger point, I'm going to, do it too. Here's a little montage of Obama and his anti-cop rhetoric that no doubt raised the temperature as far as black men and cops in this country. Here's a best of.
The Cambridge police acted stupidly. There is a long history in this country of African Americans and Latinos being stopped by law enforcement.
He's lying.
That's just a fact. The African American community is also knowledgeable.
Pause. It is a fact that cops had a lot of run-ins with black and brown people because that's where the crime is. Now, this guy was, the president of the Harvard Law Review. He's no dummy, Obama, okay? So to look into the camera and say that and then not go further and say that's where the crime-infested area is, dare I say, that's why there's a lot of tension and things popping up. And by the way, Harvard, his alma mater, just put out a thing, months ago, saying in a study that cops, black or white, are hesitant to shoot young black guys. That's from Harvard, that right-wing bastion of conservatism. But go ahead, let Dummy keep talking.
Knowledgeable that there is a history of racial disparities in the application of our criminal laws.
I just told you why.
We have seen too many instances of
He's lying.
Think hard about that
what
lie.
appears to be police officers interacting with
say it, spit it out.
Individuals, primarily African American, often poor.
Pause. Bingo. Interacting with poor blacks. Why? Because that's where the crime is. Do I have to fucking explain this to everybody on the planet? No, I don't, because my fans get it, and even a few libs get it. They just don't. They have to play along. Go ahead. He's giving me
in ways that raise troubling questions. Last year, African Americans were shot by police at more than twice the rate of whites.
Pause. Wonder if that has to do anything with them committing a disproportionate amount of crime as far as all the races go. No, we don't want to bring that in. That's science, facts, empirical evidence, and let's keep that ball in the air. Go ahead.
African Americans are arrested at twice the rate of whites. There's a big chunk of our fellow citizenry that feels as if because of the color of their skin, they are not being treated the same.
All right, enough.
The Cambridge.
Giving me a headache. But they didn't try to tie his rhetoric, did they, to the 5 Dallas cops gunned down because of Black Lives Matter, by black men, by the way, who were online saying how much they hated cops, or the 3 Baton Rouge cops who were killed, or the 2 New York City cops executed sitting in their car. Did nobody try to tie it to anti-cop rhetoric? How many times do you have to point these out? Here's a story that proves just the opposite, as a matter of fact. How about this? Isaiah Thompson. What color is he? I don't know. I'm going to go. I don't know. 23 years old, was arrested most recently on Friday when he turned himself into police after he was seen riding on the outside of a Manhattan train, subway, near Manhattan's Union Square. Mr. Thompson was subway surfing. People have been killed doing this. When witnesses at Union Square Station spotted him and alerted authorities. He fled to a subway tunnel after he was seen, police officials said, but surrendered later. Police held Mr. Thompson in custody until Sunday when he was arraigned before a judge in Manhattan Criminal Court. He pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor charges of reckless endangerment and criminal trespassing and was released. At the time, here's where it gets interesting, of his most recent arrest, Mr. Thompson already was facing charges for crimes for which he was arrested in May, when he was accused of pulling the emergency brake on a northbound 2 train during the evening rush hour in Manhattan, causing delays for thousands upon thousands of commuters. Okay, so there goes your little fucking theory of a twisted, biased legal justice system.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind.
In all, Mr. Thompson has been arrested 18 times for crimes in and around trains since July 2017. Adding that his actions have caused hundreds of train delays. NYPD officials who have pushed for restrictions on individuals who have committed multiple offenses on New York City subway said Mr. Thompson shouldn't be allowed to freely roam the transit. Oh my God, why would you say that? He's only inconveniencing people of all colors trying to get to work and doing the right thing. Why would you want to restrict him? That would be racist, would it not? Did de Blasio weigh in on this? Probably not. Anyways, if arrest and the current judicial penalties are not deterring behavior, we have an obligation to New Yorkers to use stronger methods to stop these offenses, including exclusion, said NYPD spokesman Devorah Kay. I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, but for this instance, we'll call that guy. You are correct, sir. Mr. Thompson remains free to enter subway stations and trains at will, said MTA authority officials. And there's New York City for you. And there is that bias legal system we talk about so much. Repeat offenders are exactly why the MTA board voted in June to seek a mechanism to ban those who continuously perpetrate crimes against our riders from maintaining their privilege of using the subways. That came from MTA Communications Director Tim Minton. In the meantime, police and MTA staff are required to wait until someone violates rules or the law in the present before taking action. Rich, does that make your blood boil, my friend?
They should have actually gotten a cop on a horse to put a rope around his handcuffs and walked him around.
And now let me tell you what Rich is doing. He's purposely doing a callback that he knows I'm going to call him on because I'm going to yell at him, and now he's part of the show. Did I get that one?
That was my motive.
Yeah, boy, it was transparent. But here comes the idiot, a spokesman for the Rider Alliance. Listen to this group, a public transit improvement advocacy group. Anytime you see advocacy, you could replace lying cocksuckers on behalf of marginalized groups. Cautioned against barring people from the subway system. You know what they say? The spokesman said, we don't support banning people from public space. That's what that genius had to say.
I'm a fucking idiot.
So what do you do with pedophiles at parks?
Exactly. No, exactly. You know this whole mentality, even when it comes to immigration and the illegals and the Dems always go, these people are hiding in the dark. We're bringing them out. This is good that we're bringing them That's what all criminals do. They hide until you enforce the law. In this case, this stupid spokesman for this advocacy group is saying, we don't ban people from public space. You don't? You don't. I can walk into the mall in El Paso. I don't know, carrying a fake machine gun? Are you going to ban me from? What a stupid statement, but that's par for the course for lib thinking. Is it not? Yes. We're not going to ban him, even though you pulled it, Rich, you, Jason, me, we pulled it. You pulled the emergency brake, you'll be in fucking jail. But, you know, it's Isaiah Thompson. He's only 23 or 11. I forget what his age is.
That's why we all left New York. It's becoming a shithole, just like Chicago.
Well, you left because you couldn't afford it. But, you know, I know that because I couldn't afford it. No, you're right, though. Lawlessness rules, throwing water in cops' faces. It's funny. Are you banning those kids? Hey, come see me this weekend, August 10th. That's Saturday night. This Saturday, Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. And then next weekend, August 16th and 17th, Friday and Saturday night at the Helium Comedy Club in Philly. And then Thursday, this is a new date. Can't wait to do it. Never been to Salt Lake City. Wise Guys on September 26th in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then Friday through Saturday, September 27 to 28, the night after I'm in Utah, the 2 nights after, the Comedy Works in Las Vegas. It's my manager Tommy's room, and it's the only old school hotel left in Vegas. And I cannot wait to do it. Thursday, October 10th, Levity Live, Nyack, New York. Friday, November 15th, the Cortland Repertory Theater, Cortland, New York. Saturday, November 16th, the Comedy Works in Saratoga Springs. Then New Year's Eve back at Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown, New York. And then in 2020, we have the Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut, on January 24th, a Friday. I love that place. Want to shoot a special there. That's how beautiful that place is. Saturday, February 15th, Kelsey Theater, Lake Park, Florida. And then February 23rd, I'll be in your kitchen stealing cookies at 3 a.m. Anyhow, you want to see justice in action? Somebody in Spain ought to teach NYPD how to handle this kid who's causing. I love this clip. A man who threw a refrigerator off Spanish cliff ordered to drag it back. Let's take a look at the video, shall we?
Reciclando.
Reciclando. Come on, I've done this when I moved from apartments to apartments. They were made by the Spanish police to drag it back up by... It's a strongman competition. There's probably 2 kids in that freezer. It's a little different than how the NYPD would handle it, huh? Okay, the music's killing me. Anyways, they got it up. Nice music. Anyhow, $74,000 as far as a fine goes, like an American dollar is. They were heard, by the way, if you don't speak Spanish, they were saying, recycling, let's go recycle it. The offender was fined $74,277, 45,000 euros, in order to return and collect the fridge. Both the person recording the video and the man in question, who are speaking Spanish, heard saying, according to CNN. In a follow-up video posted by police, the man and a companion is seen struggling to haul the appliance back up the cliff. A spokesperson for the civil guard, I don't like the sound of that, civil guard, told CNN a court would now decide whether the man would face further fines for an environmental crime. You know, the woods at my house up in Westchester across the street, if you walk into the woods about 1/10 of a mile, there's a little ravine. You can find dishwashers. You can find washers and dryers, snow tires. It's like fucking Walmart back there. You can find 3 Guatemalans hiding in those dryers and washers. I have to admit, I actually dumped motor oil out of my sit-down lawnmower in the woods. Apparently, if you do that in Westchester, I'd be taken out and shot without a trial. Anyways, here's what's funny. Following the investigation, police said a waste management company that employed them. They work for a waste management company. Maybe that's why the civil guard got a little upset. would also face sanctions because two had failed to properly dispose of their. My point being is, I like that type of justice. Like when they catch a peeping Tom, they make him wear a sign in these small towns. I was looking into Betty Lou's bedroom last night, and he has to stand on a street corner next to Betty Lou, and she's like 400 pounds with a beard. That's the type of shit. He'll never do it again. All right, finally tonight on Meet the Press, what should a Bernie Sanders ice cream taste like? Ben and Jerry claim to know what that flavor. Well, I have an idea what it should taste like. That, and should be very bitter with a bunch of nuts in it. Ben Cohen and co-founder Jerry Greenfield released an unofficial limited edition flavor called Bernie's Back. The hot cinnamon ice cream represents our political revolution, holding politicians' feet to the fire. Ooh, who wrote this? Rich? Are you working the marketing over there? To make America work for working people of all races and genders. La, 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 ya, ya, ya. We're all going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. The limited edition pints will be hand-signed and numbered by Cohen and Greenfield, according to Bernie's website. I think this is a good idea. You conservatives and Republicans who hate what he stands for, you should go out and get all this shit, make milkshakes, and then throw them at Bernie, the next speech. Bernie's Back is only the first in a complete line of Bernie-themed ice cream flavors, Cohen tweeted on August 2nd. The Vermont Ice Cream Duo has previously used the brand to promote a variety of other social justice campaigns. They should do one for Elizabeth Warren, you know. Her ice cream, I think her should be lactose-free because she has no tits. And it tastes like corn and tobacco, which the Indians introduced to us. Buttigieg, obviously, should be fudge. Ton of nuts. Joe Biden, his ice cream should taste like a 14-year-old girl's head. I cleaned that one up. And Cory Booker should be mocha and nuts with a layer of vanilla on top. That would be the 1% of white privileged people that he hates so much. Who's with me? Anybody? I'm going to put those out tonight. Anyways, I think that is enough for today. Again, condolences to David Kimowitz and his family and whatnot. Anything else, Rich?
Sure, boss.
It was fun. It was fun to watch AOC get upset. And boy, folks, we are in deep doo-doo. Thank God Trump showed up. Can you imagine if the thick-ankle dog face won that election that they tried to steal anyway? Think about it. Think about where, right now, all three of us would be in dresses and paying higher taxes. Anyways, that is it. Thank you so much. Don't forget Cameo.com if you want me to send you a personal video roasting one of your friends or family members or just saying happy birthday to somebody. I can be nice, I can be mean, and whatever you guys want. You go to Cameo.com, click on my profile, fill out the information. It's really easy, and I love doing them. That is it. Thank you, Patreon members. Again, spread this. Spread the word of the show. Apparently you guys are, because we had our best month last month, and we're off to a great start in August already. So we got to sign up as many people as possible, and it's a movement. Is it not? As Trump, maybe the biggest movement in podcast history. That is it. Remember, you guys think it, I'll say it. You're very welcome. I'll see you same time tomorrow. Take care of yourselves.